Hello, this is Chris Coffey, Instructional Technology Coach for Bamberg School District 1. I always get questions about how to speed up the process of doing computer projects, whether it's presentations or Word documents or whatever. So today I'm going to show you a few tips on how to do that. The first tip is go ahead and spend your time up front rather than while you're doing projects, and it tends to save a lot of time. The main way I do this is creating templates. So for example, if I'm doing a PowerPoint for the high school, I've got a generic PowerPoint template that I can create. I can just open up and start creating inside of it. I don't have to worry about coming up with a creative background or inserting the logos. They're already there, and if I want to add to it later, I can, or if I want to customize it later. But when I'm in a time crunch, I've got it. It's ready to go. Same thing when I'm sending out letters district wide. I've got a district letterhead that all I have to do is open it up, and I've got my graphics in there. I've got the information, contact information at the bottom, and so all I have to do is type in the content and move on. I do the same thing with my emails. So for example, when I do a new email, I want it to look nice and professional and give as much information as possible. And this is my template for my emails. What I've done is I've got my website link, the district name logo, my contact information, confidentiality notice, and then all I have to do is come in here and start typing, and my email is ready to go. This can be done, basically you write the email once, and then you go to save it, and you can save it in HTML format, and it works out. Of course, it's not going to work while I'm trying to demonstrate, but it's easy enough to do. But by doing every email, whenever I click new email, this is what pops up. So fast, easy, and as many emails as I send out during the day, it makes a big difference. The second thing I would do besides just doing templates is I would spend a little bit of time in your Outlook account, or if you use some other kind of email account, and create signatures. And don't just use them for contact information. So in Outlook, if you go to File, Options, and then go to Mail, our Signatures option, my default is my contact information. But I also answer questions. So recently I've been getting a lot of questions from teachers on how to do distribution list. So what I did is I created the answer to that question, and if ever a teacher asks me again through email, I just insert it. And that's come in handy 2 or 3 times this year. Training, I give out a lot of training certificates, and rather than give a personalized message to each email I send out for a training certificate, I have a generic message, and all I have to do is insert that as the signature. So, when you're sending out a lot of emails, every time you do this, it saves a lot of time. And same thing with signatures as with emails. If you're not emails, but templates, if you're not doing the same information over and over, the same kind of document over and over, it's not worth doing. Because by the time you create a template, if you're not sending it out on a regular basis or using it on a regular basis, then you're almost just as good to start from scratch. But if it's something you're using at least once or twice a month, it's probably worth your time. After you've created it for whatever you're working on this time, just take out the specific information and save it as your template so that you move on, and you can use it over and over and over again. Let's see. Using styles in a Word document. This is a big deal. This is a peer coaching notebook I work with. It's about 48 pages long, and when I was creating it, I made sure all my headings and titles or anything that was important, that I actually used this section of Word to create styles. The reason this is important, if I decide to change the look or feel of something, all I have to do is go into Change Styles, and it automatically will change everything based on the style that it's set as. Same thing, I can change color schemes if I wanted to do that. Very useful. Plus, by using styles, I'm able to automatically create and update contents table of contents. Thank you. by using the table of contents, the automated table of contents, if I change where the headings are or if I have to insert something new, the table of contents will automatically adjust. I don't have to go in there and manually do it, so that saves a lot of time. So using styles can be helpful. Something that's a little less helpful for some if you're not in administration or management is working with your properties. When I click File, by default in 2010 it goes to Info, and notice my properties of the document show up right here. And if I show all the documents, like this is not a Microsoft document, so I'm going to change this to Bamberg School District 1. But again, that little bit of information can be very useful. Another reason setting up your properties can be useful is while you're working on your documents, and I'm just going to come in here to a random spot in the document, you can insert quick parts, and part of quick parts is document properties. So again, if I needed to insert the company or company address or those kind of things multiple times in the document, it works out very nice. I type it once in the properties, and it's able to insert multiple times. So again, I can do the author, I can do these things. Saves a lot of time if you are typing the same thing over and over and over again. Also, your auto text, for example, something like an address that you use on a regular basis, rather than typing it up, just quick parts, auto text, and you can do it over and over again. I used this as an example at a presentation recently, and notice it keeps your formatting. So the size, in this case the font's bold, in this case it's actually under a style. So all of those things are kept, so if you're using the same thing over and over, this really does help and save time. A couple other tips that I would suggest you use: learn to kind of cheat a little bit. Use keyboard shortcuts. Things as simple as Control C to copy, Control V to paste is nice. Control Z is my favorite, undo. There are a lot of them. If you could just do a Google search, you'll find all kinds of keyboard shortcuts, and look for the things that you do on a regular basis, because it can save a ton of time. Other than that, I would go online and look for tutorials for the programs that you use most. The more familiar you are with programs, the faster you will be in creating your documents, your presentations, those kind of things. I hope this video has helped you with a few tips on how to save time while working on the computer. If you have any questions, please email me at ccoffee@bamberg1.net.